All right, you are welcome, welcome once again. So far, so good. We've been able to do quite a whole lot on the curriculum we've been working on. Let me share my screen. And here is it. Yeah. So just a summary down here for the record again. So by the way, we will possibly not spend more than um 30 minutes in today's session due to another call currently pending for me to join. So I just have to slice my attention across board that way. But we can continue there from the following section. So, yes, we've been able to deal with all of these as marked out in the uh, comprehensive curriculum we'll be pursuing. So, the very last session, we were able to nip completely the subject of SQL on the board, and that should have taken close to 6, 7, 8 sessions differently. And the good thing is that those sessions were recorded as usual, and you can always make a recourse to them one after the other. But today, I'm going to lay a foundation for something entirely different. We are going into another package entirely, and it is a visualization package. So, more like building on the visualization projects we did, which was a dashboard project we did uh, when we started with Excel. And Excel gave us this beautiful dashboard we are currently seeing. So we want to explore other tools that are available for us to use to bring up intelligence from our data. So prior to now, we've been in the world of coding. We've been writing SQL statement, SQL command, querying from SQL, relational database using SQL, trying to adjust table, manipulate table, create table, update table, and querying from more than one table at the same time using join command in Excel. So we are going a bit lighter again, just for our mental load to be a bit softened. Then we can cope very well with the progress of the uh, session that we are taking. So we are starting Tableau today, which is Tableau is a visualization tool which we are starting today, and I'll be laying a solid foundation for that. So I would like you to go ahead and put it in practice immediately, because that is what we help our understanding as fast as possible. And for Tableau, you can just download the application straight away. So I have a copy right here on my system, as you are seeing. So what you need to download is Tableau desktop public version. And as soon as the download is complete, it brings you to this interface, as you can see. Now, what is the usefulness of visualization tool? More often than not, it helps lay people, instead of having to go through data, reading from raw data in either a CSV file or an Excel file, or probably in a relational database format file. You cannot easily figure out the insight from the data by just merely looking at those data. So what visualization tools helps us to do is to be able to quickly make um, some useful deductions from that data. For instance, this data, we are going to look at it on Tableau, but as you are seeing it on Excel right here, you cannot quickly tell what trend or what pattern this data is giving to us. See, we have title column, budget column, ID column, original language column, popularity column, release dates, and what have you. But by the time we bring it up to a dashboard format, the information is clearly driven home. The insight rather is clearly driven home, as you can see what pattern there is, if at all there is anyone, and what kind of insight you can derive from there. So I'll quickly go into Tableau again now and make a couple of steps therein for us to see. So you may not be able to get it downloaded now, but you can attempt to download it. And if there's any itch, you can reach out to me afterwards to assist in downloading Tableau. So as soon as you get it downloaded, you will land in an interface like this. So do not forget you are downloading the desktop public. Tableau has different products that you need, I mean, that you will see on their website, and a lot of them are already licensed and you have to pay. But the only one available for public use and is free is the desktop Tableau or Tableau Public. So we can access it via web too, but it will be good since there is an app for it. Just download the app on your system so you can move faster with it. Even if there is no internet, so long you have your data on your system, you can work around it. But if it is on web, you have to be relying on internet, as it were. Okay, having said that, we can move ahead and just quickly deal with this Tableau environment. So my data, for instance, this data is what I want to use that I just showed now, is in Excel. So I will just come here to this connect side here under the left column, and I'll look for the format of the file that my data is in. Is not JSON, is not just an ordinary text file. It is not Microsoft Access. It is not in PDF either, but I'm sure it is in Microsoft. I mean, it's in Microsoft Excel. So I go ahead to pick Microsoft Excel, and on picking Microsoft Excel, please confirm you can hear me. Then you can also see my screen, right? Is that okay? Great. So, um, going back to my Tableau environment, just this way, I would like you to get it downloaded. This one is going to move you faster. We are not writing code this time around, but we are using the existing code and just pressing the right button like we did in Excel. So I go ahead to pick Microsoft Excel here. I go into my folder to look for the file. Here is the file right here on top, which is the data I want to analyze or visualize. So I pick that data, then it goes ahead to open in a different interface in Tableau for me this way. So I can just move ahead. So this lower pane on at the bottom is showing you some useful information, right? On this right uh, bottom of the interface here is showing me the different fields, what we call attribute or what we call columns. You remember in other sessions that the data set I just pick is having. So it's telling me that, okay, there is a column for title, there's a column for budget, ID, blah, blah, blah. Then you can just use the scroll bar to the right to see more columns. Then you can also use this scroll bar here. Just place your cursor right here on this gray area. You can use it to drag it up and down to see more lines. So we are playing around Tableau now. So I will be very, very cautious in mentioning all of those things so you can see how to move around so easily. Okay, then on the left you see another small table which is showing a fields table, as it were. Fields is showing type. Now this type you are seeing, you can see that it writes some as ABC, then other ones as what is it called now, hash sign. So it means that there are two type of data in all the columns in that data set. So it represents one as ABC. This ABC means it's a text. I mean, the data type is text, more like a string containing names and what have you. Then if you see hash sign, it means that the data type in that column is numbers. All the columns that have their data types as number, Tableau uses this hash sign to represent it. So it just gives you a brief overview of the nature of data in this data set on the right side. So that brief overview is what is listed on this left side. It listed out all the columns for you again and tells you their data type right there. So having said that, and I also know that what else do I need to say here? Then you can move right or left to see more about the remaining columns in the data set. So I can move on. Just come down here to the bottom of the window here. Then you see some things written just before the tax bar. You see sheet one and other sign like that. So I can use all these signs to create more sheet. But let me go to sheet one where I expect the data that I pick in whose preview. This is the preview of the data I am currently seeing here. Then the real data itself and what is doing behind and how I can turn it into different visualization formats. Then I should be able to start seeing it in this sheet one. So I go therefore to press sheet one, and on sheet one, it gives me another interface entirely. Now, do not forget, it is still listing out the columns in that table for me because those are very important. Those are the fields or attributes that we want to move around. We can move it right to the y-axis or we move it to the x-axis so that we can see a graph or a graphical representation of whatever we are playing around with. So in that case, the data we are dealing with, do not forget, is movies data. So we want to know we have the release date, the date that that movie was released, the title of the movie, the measurement of the names, the budgets of that movie when it was being originally planned for, how popular was the movie, what revenue was gotten from the movie, and what have you that way. So what are the few things I can quickly pick out from here? Yes, I also have, yes, I have the release date. So um Tableau has already shown to you. Look up here, you see columns, then you see rows. In these columns and rows, I can move items right here that actually represent columns in the original data. I can move them around and arrange them as I would want it to give me the outcome of the new information I want. So all of them are columns, but I can move them either to columns or to rows on Tableau. So what do I do first? Let me see the release date. I will just drag. I can drag and drop this release date. Can you see I've dragged it out now? I want to put, this is how easy Tableau is. And this is exactly the same way Power BI also looks like. If there is time, we will still probably go to Power BI also, but let's move on with this one we have started and lay a very good foundation. So you can see as soon as I drag the release date from here where they are listed as columns, because they are columns on that table, I drag it to the column section here. It brought out this in this visualization canvas. And what do you see? You see all the dates listed, and underneath it, you can see that it's showing that it's ABC. Do not forget I mentioned earlier that ABC is telling you the data type of that particular column that I just brought out there. Okay, so having done that, I can also say that do I want to pick revenue and I drop revenue right here? Can you see? I put revenue to row. It's already giving me a graph. It lists out all the years downward, and which is on the horizontal axis. Then it lists out the revenue value for the each, the available revenue value all across like that. Then you can plot some points to see, okay, in 2003 what revenue was gotten. I can just draw it up right here and get to this point, and that gives me against that place on the revenue vertical bar, which is 15 million. Now if I move to this point, it gives me 17 million and all that, just by the virtue of moving those columns around. Okay, I can now say, okay, how popular? Let me pick popularity. Popularity move from here to this place on the same row right here. Yeah, and it's showing me. Can you see? Immediately I include. Let me undo first. That's another beautiful thing about Tableau. I undo and it reverses that particular action. That is almost not doable in some other platform like that. So I just apply undo, then it reverses that particular action for me. That's fine. So what I want to say is, okay, right here, um, the visualization screen or canvas is just one. By the time I drop in another attribute, the screen got split into two. One goes up, the other one comes down, and still giving me the illustration of what exactly is happening behind that data over there. All right, so before I go ahead to bring back popularity column onto this chart, I can walk around some of the tools right here. Can you see? If you look at this place, you see this card or this pane called marks. Then underneath it, we have a few things that are listed there. So instead of using automatic, I can just choose the kind of charts I want it to display. Don't give me this more like a line graph. No, 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 no. I can pick from all the options that I have here. For instance, I can say, go ahead and show it to me in bar form, so which is a bar chart. I can decide to make it what kind of chart. I can pick any other chart right in there, but let me use bar chart for now. So as soon as I pick bar chart, see what it's giving me. So it's already turns it to a bar chart, and this is easy to see. Compare easily here. Nobody can bamboozle you as to which year has the highest revenue, and that's exactly the beauty of visualization tools. Without you being told again, you can see clearly. Even a small person, I mean somebody who is, I mean small children or somebody who is of little knowledge, can easily tell the direction the data is going. And that is the essence of visualization too, is to make the trend and the insight as simple to identify as possible. And the best way is to use charts and graphs and different type of illustration, so everybody can see which country has the highest revenue here just by this chart. Whereas from the other chart that I use, you can see it was a bit, though it's easy to, but it's not as easy as the bar chart. That's why I changed it to bar chart. Because just from this the topmost tip here, I can see that, okay, this is the one, I mean, the highest revenue. I can trace it down to the year to know which year, but in even identifying the year is not easy to identify the year because it's falling between 2015 and 2016. But the moment I change it to bar chart, you cannot mistake it whether it is 2015 or 2016. Straight away, bar chart is showing you that, guy, this is 2016. Okay, let's quickly pick the next one as we may need to draw the curtain very soon. The other call is already beeping me. Okay. I was going to pick popularity. Good. So I pick popularity this time around. Then I come to drag and drop it here. So on dragging and dropping it, can you see the screen got divided into two and still gives me what I need to see. I can still see all around in the revenue. The year that we have the highest revenue is 2016. But as for popularity, the year that we have movie with the highest popularity is 2014. Can you see how simple and how easy it is to know what is going on? Then you have to go to that the data of that year. How come we have the highest popularity in 2014? What movie was that? How come that same movie did not give us popularity the previous year? How come it didn't give us the following year? What has happened? Those are the kind of questions the people in charge of the different departments will be asked, and they will be looking into what exactly has happened, and they will discover that something was actually responsible for that change or that surge. By the time they do a all on it, they get the reason and they turn it into a business case which they will work upon and be able to generate more revenue. If there is a particular movie that features this kind of popularity that year, and all of a sudden the following year we don't have that movie again, that's why we didn't have that popularity, then something is wrong. How come we did not even know what features such popularity and we allow it to go out of stock, and at the end of the day we don't have such figure or such output again? Or what movie features the highest revenue in a particular year, then how come we do not have close to or exactly or even more than that revenue from the same movie in the following year, 2, 3, 4, 5 years? So If that is the case, we need to search what happened. Did we run out of that movie at any point in time, or was there any complaints? You have to go and check the complaint again, where people send in their comment on each of the movie. Does this movie have any huge complaint from customers that we failed to address, and that is why it couldn't fetch us the kind of results that it fetched us the previous year? Those are the brainstorming questions that managers and people on the board will be discussing during strategy sections, which will eventually yield a fruitful outcome that the business will need to work on to redress the trend of things in the business as it's going on. So this is the beauty of visualization tools. It helps us to see things around, easily identify issues, get a clearer picture of what is going on, and all that. So right here on this side is another list of chart or graph samples that we can use to see what is going on. I have choosing to use bar here, then I can come here to just pick another illustration entirely. For instance, I can pick this park bubble chart. If I pick this park bubble chart, let's see, good. The park bubble chart is showing to me that, okay, all the years now are now inscribed in these circles, and the circles are also painted in different colors, as it were. And as I see the circle painted in different color, I can move around too. Okay, circle color. I pick color. Then I go down to pick. I want to edit the color. Can you give me something slightly different from this? Can I have a combination of orange and gold just to be able to see my stuff better? Okay, or you can just choose any color palette that is more convenient for your tolerance. So this may look too sharp, then I can go ahead. What other combination? Maybe green and gold. Okay, still fair enough. Now the size of the circle is showing the amount of the revenue, while the thickness of the color is depicting the degree of the popularity. Do not forget, we are considering about two, three things together here. Date is there. The date the movie was released is there. The revenue the movie has generated is also there. And what else again? The popularity of the movie in question. So the dates of release are already inscribed inside the circle, as you can see. Then the size of the circle, because you can see that the circles are of different sizes, that is responding to the difference or variation in the revenue each of the movie title is generating. So we can easily see which circle is big, which is bigger or the biggest, and that can quickly tell us exactly what's going on. Okay, this appears to be the circle with the um, highest revenue, and that is what 2014 30. Okay, you can see 2014 and 2016 at a glance. Both of them appear as if they are equal size of circle. But you see, the revenue is 26, popularity is 3009. Revenue is wow, revenue is 30, and popularity is 3. Okay, so I think the size of the circle is speaking to popularity 3639. So yeah, because I'm using eyes to ordinary eyes to see, so the two circle looks exactly the same in size, but here I can see that there is different, because the popularity figure here is 3,926, then the popularity figure here is 3,613. So if that circle size is actually speaking to popularity, so it means invariably that the size of this circle is slightly bigger than that of this. And if color thickness now, or the shade of color, the thickness of the grain here is lighter here, then it is thicker here. So that thickness is talking about how the revenue also varies. Ladies and gentlemen, at this point, permit me to draw the curtain, please. I will need to join another call right away. So we'll pick up from here next session. So that is just the a tip of the iceberg for Tableau. Is very, very easy. Go ahead and download, watch this process again as to how I move around the original interface for Tableau. And if there is any question, you can beep me on the side and I'll be able to quickly uh, come to your head ahead of next session. Catch you next week, same time. Be data driven and be data ready. Thank you and bye for now.